Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News starts now.
A plane forced to make an emergency landing in Southeast Bakersfield overnight, where the plane was headed before being forced to land.
And we're at the third annual Kern County Women's March. We'll have more coming up in just a few minutes.
Good morning and thanks for joining us here at 23 ABC News on your Saturday morning. We have a lot in store for you as we head into our newscast. Some great news for our snow bunnies. We also have some foggy conditions that are going to be part of the beginning of your day. So we are going to turn things over to 23 ABC's Imani Stevens, who is filling in for Miss Emma Lockhart. What can we expect outside?
Fog, as you can see on this roof cam for the downtown area, but it looks like it's clearing out just a little bit. But this dense fog advisory that is in effect, that will be in effect until noon today, so you can expect that for most of your Saturday morning as well as for tomorrow as well. We're going to see fog throughout the weekend, but high pressure is going to bring in warmer temperatures. Right now we're at 38, a little bit warmer than what we saw earlier this morning, but there's another storm that's going to come in on Monday night. That's going to bring rain for Monday night through Wednesday, but the heavier rain will stay north of us. For air quality, we're in the moderate range with the AQI of 55, and there's no burning unless registered, but I'll have that 7-day forecast coming up.
Our top story this morning, Kern County officials responding to Southeast Bakersfield overnight for reports of an aircraft making an emergency landing. Check this out. The calls for service came out just before midnight. The plane landed on Felice Drive near Cottonwood Road. KCSO said the plane was headed for Meadowsfield Airport, but officials did not immediately know where the plane was coming from. Officials notified both the National Transportation Safety Board and the Federal Aviation Administration about the incident. No injuries were reported, and the plane did not appear to have any major damage. A man first involved in a hit-and-run crash has died in Lamont after crashing into a brick wall. According to CHP, the driver was involved in that hit-and-run just before 9 p.m. Friday on Main Street. He took off at a high rate of speed just east of Hall Road when he crashed into the brick wall at the intersection of Hall and Haybecker Road. You can see here the damage the car obtained from the crash. Here's what officials say about the fatal incident.
The driver collided with a concrete block wall. The vehicle sustained major front-end intrusion damage, and the driver is pronounced deceased at the scene. At this time, the investigation is ongoing. We have a few witnesses here.
Officials say they are not sure if drugs or alcohol were a factor in the crash, and we will provide any updates about this incident on our website, turn23.com. The Bakersfield Police Department is asking for your help to identify a suspect wanted for a burglary. This incident took place January 9th, just before 6 p.m. at a house on Brimhall Road. The suspect is described as an adult black man, approximately 5 feet 6 inches to 5 feet 9 inches tall. He has a slim build and was last seen wearing a black hooded jacket with black pants, gloves, and black shoes. Anyone with information is urged to contact BPD at 327-7111. Well, the search for a new city manager of Bakersfield is now over. City officials have chosen Christian Clegg to replace recently retired Alan Tandy. City officials announced the decision Friday. Clegg brings 14 years of experience working in local government and most recently served as the deputy city manager in Stockton. According to an agreement between the city and Clegg, he will make a base salary of $240,000 a year and will receive up to $5,000 in moving expenses. He will begin his new role on March 2nd. Until then, City Attorney Ginny Gennaro will serve as interim city manager. Congrats, Christian. All right, well, the third annual Women's March Kern County is happening in Bakersfield this morning. The event will likely see a large crowd walking through the streets of downtown this afternoon, and they do have a core message, power and unity. But before that, a rally will be held at Mill Creek Park this morning, and that's where we find 23 ABC's Austin Westfall right now with a look at all of the fun you can expect.
Yeah, Tori, right now people are getting set up, as you can see here. We're setting up some vendor booths, we're setting up some tents. There's some merchandise that you can buy. We're expecting thousands of people out here at the 3rd annual Women's March, Kern County. 3 years now that this local event has been happening, but the national Women's March movement itself has been happening since 2017. It's been happening for 4 years. I'm joined now by the director of the local Women's March. How's it going this morning,
good.
Kimberly?
Really great. Terrific.
Tell me a little bit about the structure of this event. What's going to be all happening this morning?
Well, as you can see now, we've got lots of volunteers and vendors setting up so that we can have an opportunity to share some of the resources that the nonprofits in our community are offering. We also have some food vendors here, so people come and they can have some lunch after they finish marching. But at 10 o'clock is where the important stuff starts. And it's all important, but the rally starts on the stage with some speakers, women from the community who are leaders and have something to share that's important to our audience today. And then we will wrap up that first rally at noon as we start off into the march, and then we'll take to the streets of Bakersfield and march, and then we'll come right back into the park for our afternoon rally where we'll have lots of performances by live musicians in the afternoon.
Perfect. It's a packed schedule. Can you tell me the point of the Women's March? Obviously, it's been happening 4 years running now. How has the message of the march itself evolved over time? Or has it?
It has, and it's continued. And we really are building momentum. The way that the first march had an effect the way it involved more women into running for office, and it involved women becoming registered voters. And so we're really sticking with that message. If anything stayed the same, that's one of our continued initiatives, is to get women involved in their civic organizations and to get them registered to vote and to get them to the polls. And so this year is an election year. We're really excited about encouraging women to do that. We're going to have people registering voters here today, and we're also going to have the opportunity for people to sign pledge to vote cards so that they will in fact go out to the polls this year.
Well, thank you, Kimberly. Good luck this morning.
Thank you.
10 a.m. That's when you can come out to Mill Creek Park here in downtown Bakersfield. That's when the very first rally is going to kick off. The march itself happening at noon. For now in Bakersfield, Austin Westfall, 23 ABC, connecting you.
Thank you, Austin. All right, well, BPD is set to host a special giveaway today to try to prevent car thefts in Bakersfield. Officials will be giving out a limited number of theft prevention devices known as the Club to owners of certain vehicles. Now, if you have any of the vehicles you see right now on your screen made between 1995 and 2005, you can get the Club free of charge. The giveaway is starting today at 10 a.m. at the Walmart on Fashion Plaza and Malview Road. Recipients must live in Bakersfield and be prepared to show an ID and your vehicle registration. Well, this afternoon you have a chance to join a free self-defense class for women thanks to several local organizations. 23 ABC's Daniela Garrido spoke with the instructor about why it's so important to be prepared.
Don't wait until something happens.
The Alliance Against Family Violence is giving women in the community a chance to learn to defend themselves for free.
I've seen and met so many people in the community who are either mothers and daughters who are just worried about keeping themselves safe when they go off to school or whatever. And I've also met people who've been victims of domestic violence and other assault. And it's really upsetting to see that, to know that those things are happening. So I feel obligated to give a little service back to the community and try to help these people.
What started as a one-time class has turned into 12 years for Dave Woods.
So I'll start out talking a little bit about our intention, which is strictly self-defense, with the understanding that we're going to do whatever it takes.
The class starts with a presentation on armed self-defense and domestic violence resources, but most of the class includes hands-on training.
The first day I came in, we just did our regular warm-up, and then we did like a knife defense, and I was like, whoa.
Dave walked me through a basic scenario. What should you do if someone grips you by the arm?
Circle, strike.
Scratch the eyes, cusp the ears, hit the throat, and knee the groin.
Good. Counter.
A technique that Dave says should be practiced regularly.
To physically be able to do it, you have to practice it over and over and get lots of repetition so that it becomes muscle memory.
He says, like myself, many women enter the class doubtful and leave empowered. I'm Daniela Garrido, 23 ABC, connecting you.
And the free self-defense class is happening today at 2 p.m. It's being held at the Bakersfield Elite Martial Arts Center located at 2505 Alta Vista Drive in Bakersfield. While the class is free, the center will also be accepting donations for judo student Jamia Toomey and her journey to the Olympics. All right.